Hey everybody, Brent here, back to do another quick review. This time I'm going to do Peter Gabriel's album, the third album, sometimes known as Melt. You know, overall this is a very good and a very unclassifiable album. It is very far removed from Prog, but it is very progressive and is very challenging in its own way. Peter Gabriel's third album is probably his most experimental release and one of the most inventive albums of the early 80s. He really hit his stride with album number 3. Like I said earlier, it is often referred to as Melting Face or Melt because of the cover, and it is the first true great Peter Gabriel album. The previous two albums, you know, Peter Gabriel 1, also known as Car, and Peter Gabriel 2, which is known as Scratch, I believe, are decent albums in their own rights, but they don't quite measure up to album number 3. With the third album, he has definitely substantially improved, especially consistently and with intriguing songwriting and compelling instrumental arrangements. Throughout, the tunes are both artistically resonant and memorably and very melodic as well. Let's start off the album with the first song, and that of course is Intruder. Now the arrangement on this song is very complex and it is even very challenging to follow. The melodies come from the synths and are pretty much unique guitar tone on this album, and especially this song that is laid over a hammering Phil Collins drum part. The vocals are masterfully arranged and performed with just the occasional hint of force between the psychopathic rappinish but very controlled lead vocals from Peter Gabriel. The lyrics are brilliantly written and perfectly convey the idea of an intruder with alternative and maybe evil intentions. They build up a great sense of mood, a sense of need as well as greed, and even a bit of an addiction kind of a feel to this song. And it's an extremely impressive opener for an album. It's very memorable from the first listen, and yet building up more and more impact every listen. It's one of those songs that you will never tire of. At least I don't. It's one song I would never skip because it's that great of a song. It would be a masterpiece in my opinion. Alright, after Intruder is a song called No Self-Control. And this opens with some very grabbing and very rememberable synth melody. Kate Bush is also featured on this track with some great backing vocals, very subtly as an extra rhythm feature and harmonized to cut off Gabriel's more chorus and manic vocals. And again, on this song, Gabriel really manages to be very briefly and effectively convey a very complex emotion. It is not as complex as Intruder, but is equally challenging and is bizarrely catchy. It's one of the best songs of the 80s in my opinion, and this is one of those ones where Gabriel's vocals and lyrics are unique and very interesting and are very well used, much like Intruder was. Following No Self-Control, we have a little, I don't know what to call it, it's called Start. It's basically just a little interlude between No Self-Control, I don't remember. It features a very soulful, clean, jazzy saxophone. It's got an occasional bass synth in it as well. I'm not sure why it's on there. I don't recall even reading that it served any purpose. It's nothing bad. I don't necessarily know that it fits. Following Start, we have, like I said, a song called I Don't Remember, and we have the unmistakable Tony Levin on this song on the Chapman stick. Also guesting on this song is King Crimson's Robert Fripp with some incredible guitar whirling and very controlled soundscape, which he's very well known for. You think of stuff, I know he did it on Porcupine Trees. Fear of a Blank Planet is a good example. He's really great at creating those soundscapes. The vocals are simply brilliant once again, especially in the wordless bits and the brief electronic moments, as well as the always fantastic and interesting creative mind of Peter Gabriel. Now after that we have a song called The Family Snapshot. And this to me is the album's focal point, and it really emphasizes the vocals. There's a lot of self-harmonies from Peter Gabriel, and then the lyrics on this song are simply brilliant. The sheer menace of "I've been waiting for this" has Gabriel's gritty and emotive voice. It needs to be heard. This is a very powerful, moving, and a personal song, and I would say it's one of my personal favorites in the Peter Gabriel canon, or so to speak. Alright, after Family Snapshot, we have a song called "And Through the Wire." The lyrics on this song are good, they're fun, but at the same time, they're moving and meaningful. Again, it's an extremely interesting piece, but I'm going to have to say it's probably the second weakest on the album. Which is nothing to say to take anything away from the overall feel of the album. Just being honest with you, I find it one of the weaker of the songs. Now if we flip the album over, we would have side 2, and that of course starts with the big hit off the album, Games Without Frontiers. This is probably the most openly pop piece on the whole album, and it is incredibly catchy. The melodies are very dynamic and are very strong and well emphasized that they take most of the attention from the rest of the song. The lyrics are typically quirky, although still classy and very clever. Kate Bush's backing vocals on this song are simply amazing, and her voice is just so incredibly silky, soft, and capable of just bringing a lot of emotion to it. It's definitely another fan favorite and another favorite of mine. Coming up after Games Without Frontiers, we have a song called Not One of Us. This to me is definitely the weakest on the album. Even though it remains an extremely interesting piece, I find the arrangement good, but I kind of find it a little off-putting. After Not One of Us, we have a song called Lead a Normal Life. I can only say one word to describe the song, and that is beautiful. I've always viewed this song as kind of a sequel to the Family Snapshot song. It's got some rather haunting vocals in between two instrumental atmosphere parts that feature some glockenspiel, some very gentle piano, and some very subdued drumming, as well as a bizarre treated sax part, which sounds like it reminds me of something that you might have heard on Bowie's Lower Heroes album, that sax sound. It's incredible stuff, and once again, it's a contender for my favorite song on the album. Alright, lastly we have Biko. Now I'm sure everybody knows this song. This really takes on the world vibe that Peter Gabriel will be known for in the future, and is carried by a very repetitious percussion throughout, courtesy of Phil Collins. It is a very interesting synthesized bagpipe from Larry Fast as well. I didn't realize it was a bagpipe until I read the liner notes again, and it kind of reminded me, but it sounds quite unique. The arrangements in the song are very simple, the melodies are very obvious, and the performances are all relatively simple compared to the previous songs. But this is the simplicity of this song is what gives it its power. You know, the momentum and the basic appeal, the universalism of this song is unstoppable. I don't know anybody that cannot relate to this song in some way or another. Now, interestingly, the record company dropped him from the label and only later came crawling back after it became clear what a momentful and popular this album was going to be. You know, later albums in Peter Gabriel's discography would have similar styles, but never quite capture the desperation and full creativity of the album like this. This is a must-have for everybody's record collection, whether you're a prog fan, a pop fan, whatever. You need to have this album. It is unique in every aspect, and anybody I know who has it has said they enjoy it from start to finish. Alright, so as usual, here's the front of it, the front cover. There's the back cover. And there's the inside. insert. And of course I'll show you the labels here. There's nothing fancy, they're just the charisma label, and I don't like that charisma label. It's kind of cheap. I like the old pink background one. Alright guys, as usual, take care of each other and we'll see each other really soon. Good night. Bye bye.